How does one fall in love with an electric car? Well, you get behind the wheel of one, and then that's it. That's the end. I don't know a single person who has gotten behind the wheel of an electric car and didn't fall in love. Let me know in the comment section if you are one of those people. But Alex, you're probably saying, not everybody can afford a Tesla. And you would be right 3 years ago, because now there are tons of affordable and different non-Tesla electric cars on the market, including used electric cars that are very decent. But I understand, because it's a new technology, it's scary, and the scariest part is not really the car itself, it's the concept. And this is where Electrify America comes in. Now, if you are familiar with Electrify America, you probably know them because of their fast charging network that's been growing very fast in the United States, so you can take your electric car on long trips. But they have also done a lot of other things, including the Green City program, where they are literally sneaking the electric vehicles into a city, and they've started with Sacramento, the capital of California, where I live. And just in case if you don't know, our governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has recently signed an executive order banning the sales of all new gas cars by 2035. So here in Sacramento, we're just a little bit ahead of our time. I have recently bumped into our mayor, Darrell Steinberg, at one of the Electrify America stations, because, that's where all the cool kids are hanging out nowadays. And he was pretty excited about California, and specifically Sacramento, leading the way and getting people hooked on electric cars.
I want us to expand the number of electric vehicles, electric buses. I want everyone in Sacramento to experience and have the option to experience all of the options that are available to them. I want us to be known and branded as the city which led the way to revolutionize the way we think about transportation. And I think we're off to a great start. We got chosen by Electrify America for a reason.
So instead of trying to sell these electric cars to people who may not be able to necessarily afford them just yet, because the income levels here in Sacramento are not as high as the rest of the state, the city is simply selling the concept to the people who have not necessarily thought about driving an electric car. People who still call them electrical cars. So much work to be done still. So there are 5 different ways how Electrify America has sponsored placing these electric vehicles throughout the city, like bait cars. There will be people who are like, I hate electric cars, and then they get in, they start driving, it's like, oh, this is electric? Oh, I love electric cars. The first one is the gig car share, and if you live here in Sacramento, you see them everywhere. And much like renting a scooter, you can rent an electric car using your app. You find the nearest one to you, and you jump right in, you unlock it, and you can pay per minute, per hour, or per day. So it's literally like renting a scooter. The entire fleet of the gig car share here in Sacramento are these black Chevy Bolts with the blue accents, so you can recognize them anywhere. And the best part is that the charging is free. You can pull up to any Electrify America station and recharge your battery at no cost to you. Now, I have to mention that a lot of people who try this service have never driven the electric cars before. As a matter of fact, they don't even find out it's an electric car until they are driving it. So essentially, it's like their first test drive of an electric car, which is kind of the whole point. Before I tell you about another cool electric car service here in Sacramento, a quick reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by Climate Exchange. That's right, the Tesla raffle is back. You can win a Tesla of your choice. Only 4,000 tickets will be sold, so make sure to get yours using the link in the description of this video. And even if you don't win, the money will go towards a great environmental cause. And by KANDI AMERICA. Talking about an affordable electric car, check out the K27 for just under $10,000 after the federal tax credit, or their second model K23 for under $20,000. Deliveries start very soon, so reserve yours today by using the link in the description of this video. All right, let's move on to another awesome electric car service that we have here in Sacramento, courtesy of Electrify America, and it is the AAA Electric Car Subscription. Think of it as a short-term lease which you can extend at will that also includes pretty much everything that you need, like insurance and roadside assistance. The fleet consists of Volkswagen e-Golf electric cars, which I actually like a lot, and they get delivered to you on a flatbed truck, like if you just purchased a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, which is pretty cool. You can use the service for as little as 3 months or extend it to more. I've met Jennifer who just started using the service, and here's what she told me got her into this.
All right, Jennifer, so you are one of the new customers for this service. How long have you been using it so far?
About 3 months now.
And what made you want to subscribe? Because this is very interesting and unusual.
Yeah, so originally I started using GigShare through AAA, and I saw this service on Facebook and I wanted to try it. And so I thought this might be cool to try, and so I decided to sign up for the service.
And so are you planning on driving it for a while, or sort of what's the reason for a short-term rental?
I just thought I would try it for a while because I'm thinking about getting an electric car. So this is kind of like my test drive experience with this service.
She is such a perfect story for this, right? She started with a gig car share little by little, then she moved on to the AAA subscription service, and next thing you know, she will be buying her own electric car. Another member of the electric tribe. Another great service that we have here in Sacramento is called Envoy, and this one targets the low-income residents here in our city, which normally wouldn't be the target audience for the electric cars. Nevertheless, this is a fleet of all-electric e-Golfs that are normally placed in pairs at the low-income apartment complexes here in Sacramento. Much like with a gig car share, the residents can reserve their car and then rent it by minute, hour, day, and so forth, and this really does make a big difference in their lives because they now have a way to get around and run their errands, maybe make a little bit of money, but also get to their jobs and schools and so forth. And hopefully once they are ready to buy a car of their own, it will be electric. Now, Regina is one of the residents at this apartment complex in South Sacramento, and she had a pretty cool story to tell me until we got rudely interrupted by, you know.
So this is essentially the car that you use. Why not, let's say, buy a car instead of renting it? Does this somehow make it more sense financially?
It does, because I just use it as needed, and it's convenient, and the charger is right here on property. So
What do you use it for?
I use it for board meetings. I use it to run errands locally. I've been to the Bay Area to see my family. I've been to football games, like family and friends football games with it, visit family locally. So I utilize it for a lot of different things.
You're gonna have to speak up a little louder when there's a gas cars passing by making all the noise. You're not used to that anymore, I get it.
So as you can see, it works for those who don't always need a car or can't always afford a car full time. So this works out pretty well. As a matter of fact, this is something that all of us may adopt in the future once the cars will become self-driving pods and you really won't own one and will just order on-demand service, and that will be it. Now, of course, one of the biggest pollutants as far as transportation is concerned in any city is the city buses. And so Electrify America has bought a few electric buses and even taught me how to charge one. As you can see, they also get charged at Electrify America stations, and just overall, everybody can definitely tell when a bus is electric because once they drop you off at the bus stop, you are not covered in a cloud of just this diesel smog. And obviously they are quieter and smoother, and overall they give people confidence in this new electric technology. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably remember that I have recently visited one of the electric bus factories here in California operated by BYD.
So how do you put together an all-electric bus? Well, you see, when two buses love each other very, very much,
Another cool service that we have here in Sacramento is the on-demand electric shuttle, which you can essentially hail like a digital hitchhiker with your app. This is kind of like if Uber and your city bus had a baby. As you can see, these shuttles are also charged at the Electrify America charging stations, and off they go. So even though Sacramento is not exactly full of electric cars right now, but this is a great example how this new electric technology is introduced, and as choices of the electric cars grow and the prices of electric cars fall, I can see how we may not even need the ban on the gas cars by 2035, because by then we may not even want them. So as we move to the oh, my electric shuttle is here. All right, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.